We don't get paid for being busy. We don't get paid for working hard. We don't get paid for putting in time and trading our time. We get paid for results. And how do we get results? We solve problems. How do we get to be good problem solvers? We develop ourselves. The more we develop ourselves and the more we develop other people too, the more we get paid, because the more we develop ourselves and other people, the more problems we can solve, which is going to lead to more productivity, more results, and we get paid for results, not by working hard, not by being busy, and not by trading our time for money. What's great about that is even in the beginning, if you completely suck at it, which most people do, including myself, for the first 2 years of this experience, I learned that I do not get paid for my time, and I don't get paid for being busy or working hard. But what the flip side of that is, an incredible flip side, is that you will come to a point to where you are so efficient, you could cut your hours in half and multiply your income by times 10, by times 20, by times 100, and cutting your hours in half, or more than that, because you'll become so efficient at it. On the flip side of that is a job, and I'm not saying this to put down jobs, this is just a logistical argument, you decide what's best for you. The flip side is a job. At a job, you're depositing your time and you're getting some money for it. More time, more money, more time, more money, so you're constantly trading your time for money versus investing your time. So you can work hard and you can put in all these hours and you can be paid some money. And it doesn't really matter if you're productive or if you get a result. Maybe down the road you might not have a job anymore, but for the time being, conceptually, you're not going to get paid for a result. You're going to get paid for the time that you put in and working hard and things like that. So that's a job. And the trade-off with that model, with that approach with the job, is that you will never come to a point where you can cut your hours in half and multiply your income. That option is just not there. Even if you get a pay increase, even if you get a promotion and you're climbing the corporate ladder, that option is still not there. You're still trading your time for money. So that's the big difference between entrepreneurs and people that have a job. And you've got to decide where your values are and what's really important to you. And I know some people that love their job, and it's a great thing, but I only know one person in the course of my life so far that loves their job and has his freedom. And the only reason this person has his freedom along with loving his job is because he has bought and acquired an asset that he owns on the side that puts cash into his pocket, his family's bank account, and it's so much money that it entirely replaces what he makes at his job and more than affords his entire family's living expenses. That is the only reason why he has both his freedom and a job that he loves. And I know that most people, myself included, certainly myself, when we have an asset that we own that is putting so much cash into our bank account that we no longer need a job, we typically leave the job. That's certainly the road that I took, and a lot of people take that road when they get to that point. But so I just wanted to emphasize that I'm not saying this to put down jobs or to put down anybody that chooses either side of that fence to want to be a wage earner or a salary earner or to be an entrepreneur. There's some massive differences between them, and I could go on about taxes all day long. As a job, you're taxed at ordinary earned income, which is the worst tax rate. Your biggest liability in your entire life is going to be taxes because you only have a job, which is taxed under earned ordinary income. If you have a passive income under an asset that you own, that you've acquired, that you've nurtured and built up and so on and so forth, passive income, you're going to pay the littlest taxes. In fact, you could even pay absolutely nothing in taxes because it's a passive income and you're doing things to stimulate the economy, which in large part makes it a passive income, but that's another video for another time. So there's many benefits that, in my opinion, that far outweigh having a job, and especially having only a job. But if you're one of those rare people that loves your job, which is totally cool, I'm telling you, you're not loving it out of freedom, that's for sure. You are loving it also, well, I shouldn't say that, but you have that job also out of necessity, because if you don't have it, if you have nothing else to cover your living expenses and to take care of your family, if you have nothing else, then your job is a necessity, and it's also going to dictate much of your life, and money is going to dictate your life, and it's going to tell you what you can and can't do based on what you got going on financially. So if you really love your job and you want the freedom to love your job, build up an asset that you own that puts money passively into your pocket that you'll have to nurture through time, but it'll get there. And then you can have all the freedom in the world to love your job because it's no longer a necessity. So it frees up all that room to just love your job, and then money doesn't have to say what you can and cannot do anymore. It's a good place to be in. So I hope that made a lot of sense. I covered some very, very, very life-changing, important stuff in this video. And yeah, let it change you. Soak it in, listen to it again. Let it change you. It's just the beginning. And stay on the path of change and correction and direction and correction over and over again. And if you'd like some help, I run a 30 Days to Profit group every month. The next one is coming up on the 1st of the following month. If you want to know more about that, just privately message me and we'll ask each other some questions and we'll see if this is a good fit for you. And if it's not, I hope you find what works for you. Whatever it is, I hope it's something that is an asset that you own that puts money passively into your pocket, at least enough to cover your whole living expenses as well as unforeseen emergencies and your health insurance and everything else that you've got going on. Get a passive income covering all of that, and you are a free human being because it's not about the money. It's about the freedom and you being able to spend your time on whatever it is that is most important to you. Family, hobbies, interests, passions, causes that bleed true to your heart, whatever it is. Just go for the freedom. That's an excellent value to have, the freedom. And there's also more security in that too than a job.